Signs of unhealthy or demonic soul ties. Signs showing that you have a soul tie and the soul tie you are having is demonic and can hinder your marriage or hinder your relationship. This might be the reason why you are still single or why you are struggling in life. By God's grace, in today's video, I want to do a kind of continuation of the video I have started about soul ties. The last one I did was the most dangerous part of the soul tie, and today, because I don't want that video to be excessively long, I have to cut it. Now I want to continue by is giving in explicit terms certain signs or certain features you will see in a relationship or you see in your life. You will know that you are already entangled with demonic soul ties, because when you be able to dictate your problem, solution will be easy. If only you follow me to the end of today's video, you will get that amazing information. But before then, please give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube algorithm shift it to other people that need it. As you do so, may God bless you. Welcome back to Jenny Action TV. In this particular channel, I discuss three important variables which actually help safety and spirituality. In this channel, we pray strategic prayers. We believe in balance because Bible made us to understand that faith without work is dead, and that is why we do spiritual work. So if this is the very first time you're finding yourself in this channel, you are highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and be part of the family, as well as the bell notification, so as to always get my new uploads. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So for my new timers, you're highly welcome. Please always share the video, comment on the video. That is how we roll here. And then give likes, and God will bless you as you do so. So without wasting time, let's dive in. So number one is what I call obsessive thought and influence. Whenever you notice that you cannot concentrate on anything, you are persistently thinking about an individual, and the thoughts that is always filtering into your mentality is all negative. Let's say, for instance, you are working in a certain office because of some relationship and close work you have with your boss or any of the colleagues. You notice that you no longer concentrate. Where you are eating, you are thinking about this person. You are feeling that you're already in the hands of this person, committing some sexual perversions, and so on and so forth. My dear, it is obsessive negative soul ties that is forming, and that person might even be married while you are single, and this type of thing is happening to you. You may need to get away from that person immediately, stay away from that job, look for another job. If not, you will end up not only sinning by start having sexual relations, but you will also notice that beyond that sexual relation, you are now linked spiritually, that the enemy can hijack it and undo two of you or even one of you. Because this is why some people have linked themselves with witchcraft, because somebody that is into witches, which you don't know, you may form a kind of some relationship with that person. Before you know it, you are initiated without your knowledge, and before you know it, things that you can't understand start happening to you. That is number one. Number two is destructive patterns. Once you notice exhibition of some destructive patterns in your life, let's say, for instance, you were linked sexually, or you are having a romantic relationship with somebody, and suddenly something happened, you break up, and that breakup is having a toll on you, so much so that you cannot concentrate. Sometimes you that is quiet, when you are doing something and you remember this person, you don't mind carrying the clock in your house and break it, fling your phone, start destroying things, start behaving abnormally. It's as if some negative forces are now influencing you. You become all of a sudden violent, and you are never violent in nature. My dear, you are already having soul ties with that person, so much so that even though the person have break up with you, you are not letting that person go. You need to do strong spiritual work. If not, you will use your hand to destroy yourself. There is nothing you will do that you will concentrate, and this is one of the things that causes mental issues. And from there, some people now end up taking their own life in the name of suicide when they cannot bear it, because some evil spirits have hijacked that person to undo that particular person just because of that unhealthy soul ties. Another one is that it brings unhealthy attachment. When I'm talking of unhealthy attachment, I'm talking of obsessive attachment to places, to things. In other words, when you create some soul ties with somebody, you notice you cannot stay with the other person. If you're a student, even when you want to write exam, you are seeing the face of that person in the paper, you can't concentrate. There's nothing you are doing again that is actually a kind of working. Your mind is always in that person. You want to be with that person. You always want to do things with that person, and this person might be demonically possessed, because everybody is followed by forces. And some people you see that ended up committing something like homosexualism and lesbianism and others, because it might even be your fellow gender. Some of them never imagine it. It starts with unnecessary soul ties. They are always close to one another. They are always watching some negative films together, reading some negative books together, discussing some sensitive, negative, sexual, perverse information together, and the enemy now hijack it and then start using it against such people. That's why the Bible says, flee ye youthful lust. Because of certain laws, certain novels they have been sharing, even this one happened among most of the times secondary school students, and you now begin to hear that a secondary school student in the same class impregnated the girlfriend or impregnated a lady. And by us standard, you know that two children that are almost the same age mates in the class ideally may never marry. But at the end of the day, a child life is destroyed, or the destiny of a child is destroyed through unnecessary unhealthy attachment. That's why as a parent you need to be very careful of who your children move with, of the type of relationship your children are keeping, because when they form certain soul ties with one another, with the friends and then other relatives they have, they may not be able to fulfill their destiny. Their life will destroy. There is a lady I know in my place. She traveled for just holidays, just as most of us now travel for Christmas, to her mother's sister. And then her mother's sister have grown-up children like her too, just to go and spend the holidays. Along the line, her cousin now impregnated her. And that was abomination. When she came back with that pregnancy, people shouted that it's abomination. Even as a staunch Christian, she have to go and do some traditional things in order to be separated from such abomination. Till today, that lady never got married. I don't know about the man, but one word or the other, these soul ties affect women more than men. So you have to be very careful. And the daughter has even entered university, but she never married. And that thing was a dent in her image, because once anybody want to talk about her, even in terms of marriage, no responsible mother will want to bring such person that committed incest to the family. So you have to be very, very careful not to form unnecessary soul ties. Believe me, when she went for that holidays, I'm sure she will never have a mind, likewise that boy, that they will commit such. But it started with unusual closeness. From unusual closeness, sharing some information, watching some movies together. Everything is energy, everything is vibration. That's why you have to mind the books you read, mind the film you watch, mind what you Google on the internet. Stay away from pornographies and others. If not, you will end up with what you cannot explain, because all these things are backed by certain spirits. So I'm sure they never plan to do such a thing, but one way or the other, as they start having some intimate discussion, being together, maybe the parents of the man will go out for their usual business, and two of them are left at home, somebody that's come for holidays. Before you know it, soul ties is formed, and two of them ended up sleeping with each other. And because of still that soul tie to today, the lady never got married. This lady I'm talking about is my age mate. I know her very well. So that is, by the way. The fourth one is that it brings about spiritual oppression. It can result in a situation whereby the individual that is having this soul tie with somebody else is now being controlled by dark forces that person cannot resist. And it is one of the things that lead to spiritual spouse, because one way or the other, if you are married to somebody and that person, one way or the other, dies, and you do nothing to separate your soul tie with that person, the person can now be chaperoning you, that's going with you anywhere you are, and then cannot stand seeing you with another relationship. Instead, he will now opt to become your spiritual spouse, so much so that you will now notice that you have started having spiritual spouse. The person don't mind changing the face, and you will not even understand that it's your husband coming to you or your wife. That is why once you are married and you lose any of the partner, there must be separation, so that soul ties will not affect you. And then it also can lead to witchcraft manipulation, because when you are sleeping around and one way or the other, because that is one of the strongest and easiest way of forming this soul tie, you might sleep with a witch. You might actually sleep with somebody who is a kind of a possessed with water spirit, and automatically that thing will begin to affect you, affect your destiny, and you can even lose your destiny from such unwholesome relationship. That is why you have to be very careful. You should have only one sex partner, and that sex partner should actually be your wife or your husband, to avoid unnecessary soul ties, because this soul ties is like a roadblock that can stop you from entering into another relationship. Because spiritually, any relationship you want to enter into will be blocked, because it is seen that you already having a kind of one soul, just as the Bible said that this cause shall a man leave his father and leave his mother and form one flesh, and one flesh is also equal to one spirit and one soul. So because you already is spiritually equal to one soul or one spirit with someone, you will not be able to get another. So that is why you have to break every form of soul ties, so that you will be able to marry at the right time and enjoy your relationship. And again, know that once you are sexually linked with somebody who has spiritual spouse, we will contact it immediately. That in the world of spirit, there's nothing like male and female. So if somebody has spiritual spouse, you now, because sex is a strong covenant, you now have some fun with that person. To a greater extent, that spirit that is tormenting that person will start going after you, and you will notice that you have started seeing some signs of spiritual spouse. That is why you have to be very, very careful of soul ties. Last but not the least, you will begin to experience resistance to positive change. That when things that is positive want to happen in your life, it will not be easy, because you are having some demonic soul ties that have formed a kind of negative cycles around you, and I have made it impossible for you to experience positive change. And this is where you will notice that you cannot concentrate in your business, you can't concentrate in your studies, and anything you are doing, your emotions seems to be tied somewhere, and you begin to manifest negative emotions, especially when you are in a relationship with somebody before and suddenly that relationship scatters. And because you have already formed soul ties, you will notice that you can't concentrate, that every time you are feeling resentment, so angry, you wish to kill. Why would this person do this to me? You begin to eliminate all the relationship and all the fun you were having together, how everything is taken away from you, and you know that it's our subconscious that actually help us to manifest whatever we like. So now, because our emotions is filled with negativity, know how the outcome of our life will be full of negativity, which will lead to destruction of our destiny, star and glory, if nothing is done about it. This is why you have to be very careful, because prevention is always better than cure. Not to enter into any form of soul ties with anybody, especially when it comes to negative part of it, so as to avoid having unnecessary distortions of energies and distortions of your life. Because this is one reason why lots of people have committed suicide, and people are wondering why, because they have soul ties that they couldn't control the outcome of the negative consequences. If you have found value in this video, please kindly give it a like. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe so as to get my next upload, because in my next upload I'll be actually be talking about how you break away from soul ties, so that if you are already entangled or you know somebody that is entangled, you will be able to help that person. So with this, I've come to the end of today's video. May God bless you for being part of this video. Still your lady Jenny saying bye bye.